Having cleaned up the rocker cover of all dust and small particles, I'm now going to go over the cylinder head, clean out any fragments off the bearings, journals, make sure that the tappet faces are clear. Yeah, I want to put the sealant on, then put the O-rings in, then put the camshafts in, then clamp them together. I think that is the order of service. This may not be the best way to do it, may not be the right way to do it. But it is a way to do it. Okay, you can go the O-rings. At least I hope they will. Go on, there you go, that's that. Got time. Come on. Right, that's that in. Next goes in the camshafts. Now this can only go in one way. Go. Right, I hope that's in correctly. Why does it not look as if it is? Yeah, actually that does. That doesn't look too bad at all. Right. You can go the compression tools. There we go, that's seated. That's down at this end already, and that's loose. Which is not quite down at this end. Okay, that appears to be down. You'll notice I've got the cam timing clamps in place there, the cam timing locking. I was a bit worried because when I took this off, these would not fit pointing inwards, they were fitting pointed outwards, which suggested that the timing was 180 degrees out. What I'm kind of hoping is that the computer, the car's computer, will work out from the camshaft sensors, which I haven't put back into place yet but belong in here. I'm hoping that the computer will be able to work out the position of the cam sensors and therefore work out the appropriate ignition timing for it. Otherwise, the ignition spark could be at the wrong place. It might be igniting on the exhaust stroke instead of on the compression stroke. But I think these cars are a bit cleverer than that. Right, I'm just going to check now, make sure that I've got everything in place, and then I'll start putting all the bolts in. We have 47, it tells me, around the outside. And another 13 in the centre, which makes 60 in total. Plus we have the two larger ones for the engine lifting brackets. And that is it. Right, that's all the outer bolts in. They're still to be torqued down. I believe it's 17 Newton meters they've got to be torqued down to, and I won't do that just yet. What I'll do is I'll gently release these two clamps, make sure that those bolts are taking the strain okay. I can see there's plenty of sealant squeezed out in between, so it looks like the sealant has done its job. Let's slowly release this. This should be really easy because the first turn and away it goes. There you go. And again, first turn and away it goes. So it's done its job. So that just leaves the bolts in the centre now to put in place. I'll find my 17mm ring. And then I need to go around with the torque and torque them all down to the right specification. I want to go around this inner edge here with a mirror and make sure that there's sealant showing on that side as well, because if there's ever a time to redo it, now's the time. Now just to put the bolts back in the centre. Hopefully I should now have a bolt for every hole. Slightly nervous time. What if I haven't? What if I'm short of bolts? I think perhaps just as worrying, or maybe slightly more worrying than having not enough bolts, it's having a bolt left over. Where the hell did that come from? Right, next thing, torque the bolts down. I'll put the oil cap on now. Right, the readings on my gauge aren't that good. 10, 15, I'll say that's about 17. Well, it's got to be approximate, hasn't it? Having torqued those all down now, I think I better have a look using the mirror and check that we have sealant squeezing through on the outside. That's looking good. Yep. Actually that looks pretty good all the way around. very hard to get the camera in there as always. I'll try and set this up so that you can see the reflection, and of course there you can see the gasket material squeezing out, and that's pretty much the same all the way around. Okay, just while we're here, while I think of him, I think I ought to put that earth strap back on there. That's all that screw holds really, is just an earth strap, but it is important. Right, I think I'll put these two brackets on. Two brackets are actually identical, so it doesn't matter which one goes on where. .50 Newton meters. Done. Right, I think the next thing is the chain case cover. I need to clean off this inside of this port because it was a bit of a struggle to get in and out, so I need to give that a quick clean and give this facing a bit of a clean off as well. Just before I forget, I have these sensors to put back in. Giving them a wipe off just before I put them in, just make sure there's no crud on them. It's not entirely necessary. That's two. And that's three. Right, I need the screws to go in. I can now put the spark plugs back in. Right, time to start putting the chain case on. Rubber O-ring that goes on over the top of the drive. Move that out of the way, you. Go on, get out of it. Brand new metal plate gasket into place. Doesn't want to stay in place, but it's into place. And the chain casing, the inner case, only held by two bolts. Of course it does.